Hello, we are Reviews and Interview. My name is Vu,
I'm Marie.
and we are currently interviewing Mr. Thornburg, the Money Matters teacher.
Close. It's Mr. Thorburn.
Oh, I'm so
Yes.
sorry.
All right. Well, this is pretty obvious. Who are you and what do you teach?
Well, my name is Mr. Thorburn, and I currently teach Money Matters here at Martin, and I also teach honors accounting.
You do?
Oh.
Honors accounting. I typically know you for being the Money Matters teacher, so that...
Yes, that's my primary. I teach 4 Money Matters sections, and I teach 1 honors accounting class, which for many students who might want to major in business, after they take Accounting 1, Miss Murray teaches Accounting 1. I get some students that want to major in business or accounting, and they come to me in honors accounting for a second year of accounting. We try to prepare them for really their first year of accounting in college. My goal is to make sure that they make an A in their first accounting course in college. That's my goal.
That's really good to
So
know.
yeah, but Money Matters is the section I teach the most.
What do you teach in Money Matters specifically? And what's the difference between that and Accounting 1, for example, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind you asking. You're an interviewer, right? I expected questions in the interview. Well, accounting, we teach more financial accounting, so it's about how to assess and properly record transactions for a business. Money Matters is more like on an individual or personal level. So we start in August by talking about your various wants and needs in terms of the things that you purchase. And then we make a budget. And we talk about, I know you teenagers out there want to leave your parents' house because you are all brilliant and your parents are idiots. So we talk about getting an apartment, leaving your parents' home, so that budget helps there, and how much it costs to get into an apartment. We talk about college, how to plan for and pay for college. We talk about buying cars, buying houses, retirement. Right now we're in a section, we've just finished a section over retirement where we've talked about the various retirement vehicles.
Like
that
nursing homes?
Pardon?
Like nursing homes and stuff?
No, we talk about retirement plans like IRAs, which stands for individual retirement accounts. The various IRAs you can contribute to during your working life, and how to build. You kids call it a big bag. How to build a big bag so that when you retire, you will have a big bag, or when you're in your 50s and 60s. And I like to tell the kids, if you do have a big bag in your 50s or 60s, you get to wake up and decide you want to work or whether or not you will work that day, because you have accumulated so much money. You can decide whether or not to work instead of having to work the rest of your life.
That sounds so nice.
It does. We talk about waking up and not owing anybody any money. So we talk about credit cards, and we talk about credit score. And I like to tell them that freedom is waking up and not owing anybody a dime. And then you can kind of pick and choose where you want to work instead of being forced to work the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I was actually planning to take that class next year, so yeah, it's nice to know what I'm going to be learning next
Well, we'll look forward to having you, Marie. We've got great teachers that teach Money Matters. We have 3 other teachers.
Oh, really?
Depends on who you get, but we all use the same kind of software from a kind of a world, certainly famous in the United States, a financial planner called Dave Ramsey. We've used his software for many years, and it's got a great package, and it goes through a lot of the things we just talked about. And all the teachers have access to it. So.
Okay. That's awesome. I'm just not going to go in order with the questions because, I don't know, I just feel like doing that. What is the biggest mistake people make when it comes to money management, in your opinion?
Yeah, like that you see with maybe like students or adults or like people that you've consulted with in your line of work.
Sure. Well, it's really not limited to age. Credit cards is probably the biggest thing that I've seen. My background is in accounting. I went to Baylor University and majored in accounting, and I got my certified financial planner's license and CPA, and I have done a lot of financial planning for folks for the last 30 years or so. And whether it's 20s, 30s, or 40s, people just, they don't have that budget we talked about making that helps you plan what you're going to spend every month. And then they end up buying things that they don't need.
Yeah.
And then they realize that they don't have the money to pay off their credit card in full every month. And that's really bad, because when you run a credit card balance, when you can't pay it all off, then the credit card company charges you interest. And that's the biggest mistake I see most people getting into trouble with, is not paying off their credit cards in full. And I've seen people's marriages ruined because of that.
Oh,
Wow.
I've seen just people drowning in, again, waking up and knowing that when they go to work, they're really not working for themselves anymore. They're working for a credit card company.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. And as it relates to young adults like yourselves, paying for college is a really important thing that you got to plan for.
Yeah.
I see a lot of
Definitely.
kids choose a college because of the social life or the football games or that kind of thing. Let's take TCU, for example. It costs $70,000 to go there. Minus some financial aid you might get, but you might want to major in nursing.
Oh.
And then you could go to UTA and get the same nursing degree and work in the same hospital when you graduate. Let's say a hospital in downtown Fort Worth or somewhere, in the Metroplex. And you can get out of UTA with no student loan debt and go into nursing. Or you could go to TCU and get the same nursing degree and come out with $200,000 worth of student loan debt or $150,000 student loan debt. Now, who do you think, Vu and Marie, is better off when they go into that hospital on the first day financially? The person with zero student loan debt or the person with $150,000 worth of student loan debt?
Well, I would assume the UTA person, given as they're not shackled by any burdens.
And that's what we call a rhetorical question in English. So you thought we were just going to talk about money matters and accounting in here. No, this is a cross-curricular podcast.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Very good to know. Do you have a lot of interesting stories then from your time? You say that you used to do accounting. Do you have any stories or anything that you would like to share with people?
Well, if I had any interesting stories about accounting, I'd probably still be working in accounting. But it's not very interesting. No, it's a great career, but I just didn't dig it. I sat in an office all day or just looked at numbers and things like that, and that wasn't really my cup of tea. So that's why I'm sitting in here with you guys. I probably wouldn't be doing a podcast right now if I was in accounting. I'd probably be at a desk somewhere stressing out over some type of audit or tax return, and that's no fun.
Well, we're very glad that you're
And
here with us.
life's too short to be doing that. Now, some of you out there might love accounting, and it's a great career, and it's a great way to get a job out of college. It just wasn't for me. So,
Did you make a lot of money off of it?
yes, you can make a lot of money off of being an accountant.
Okay.
In fact, I didn't. Well, my teaching background, I started at Sam Houston High School, and before this, I taught English for about 19 years. And so, but I started at Sam Houston. I did that for 9 years. But when I started, I took math geniuses out there. I took a 62.5% pay cut to become a teacher. I was thinking
I have no idea
in
what
the year
that means.
2000. So I was making X, and when I went into teaching, I was making Y, and that was 62% less than what I was making doing accounting.
Wait, what
But
does that mean?
I get to hang out with Vu and Marie and all these great young adults. I got to spend a lot of time with my daughter because I was a teacher.
Oh.
And so sometimes that money is not the most important thing in life. So
How did you join? How did you start teaching? If what certifications and what kind of pushed you over into teaching, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't mind you asking again. I believe this is an interview. It's So, no, I don't mind you asking. That's a great question. When I had been in accounting and business, and that business went bankrupt, I lost my
Oh.
job because the business went bankrupt, and it was time for me to reassess, what did I want out of life?
Mm-hmm.
I just had a baby girl, and so I thought, what do I want to spend my time doing the rest of my life? Is it sitting behind a desk and working till 8 or 9 at night? Or, watching my daughter grow up and read a book and swim and ride a bike. And so that's kind of what pushed me into teaching. I thought, well, I can teach and spend more time with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
But what got me into my original certification was English as a second language, ESL.
Oh.
And I did that because I was substitute teaching at Sam Houston for $67 a day.
Oh,
60.
wow.
Oh my god.
Yes, that's before taxes, ladies and gentlemen. $67 a day, but I was substitute teaching for a teacher who had taken extended leave. She had surgery, and I was in a room full of struggling readers for 6 weeks. But I just really liked the feeling that I got when I left for the day, because I was helping these young adults, these teenagers, read a little better. And so I really liked that. And then an opening came up at Sam Houston for an ESL teacher. A teacher had left in the middle of the year. And so in October of 2000, I took my first permanent job as a teacher at Sam Houston. And it was an ESL class. And you're right, I didn't have my certification. I had my CPA, I had my CPA license and business licenses, but I didn't have a certification to teach ESL. So when teachers do that, when they come from a job or something in the teaching, they have to get what's called an emergency certification or an alternative certification. So I had to promise the Arlington Independent School District that I would get my certification in the summer in ESL and as a high school teacher. They call it secondary certification. So after I taught that year in the summer of 2001, I had to go get my certification, and that requires taking some classes and then passing a test or two, which I did, and so then I became a real teacher. But that was my original certification, was ESL, and then we had to get our English certification, so I became an English certified teacher. So.
Well, as someone who has English as a second language, I can assure you I am very glad for ESL teachers like you.
Well, Vu, I met a lot of young people like yourself who are probably just learning the language, and that was to me a beautiful thing. Is what's better than helping someone learn a language and survive in a new country, or so that they can have a better life for themselves. So. Doesn't that sound like more exciting than accounting?
Certainly.
For me.
It does. It sounds more fulfilling.
Yeah, I think that's a good word to use.
Okay. For our next question, I was going to ask, so how do you balance family and work?
You did mention a daughter.
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, my original job as an accountant, it was tougher. I was married, so no, I'm not. My ex-wife and I, when we were married, kind of shared the duties, child-rearing duties. But when we got divorced, that was another reason why I went into teaching, because I could spend more time with my daughter, and teaching is easier to achieve a life balance. Obviously, we get a little bit of time off during the summer. Don't say 3 months. Are you listening, teenagers? Are you listening, teenagers? We work throughout the summer in training and things like that. It's really 2 months.
Oh, dear.
So go tell everybody, no, it's really only 2 months. It's not 3 months. But the 2 months I got off, I could, my daughter and I did so much stuff. We did Six Flags and Wet and Wild. It's called Wet and Wild, ladies and gentlemen, not Hurricane Harbor.
Really?
Yes.
Actually?
There are no hurricanes in DFW. Have you ever seen a hurricane in DFW?
I do remember.
Another rhetorical question. You haven't. But you can get Wet and Wild. That's what the original name of that water park was called, which is where I worked as a teenager out of Lamar High School. I grew up in Arlington and went to Lamar. But yeah, the family life balance. We work hard at school. I know Miss Wade will attest to that. But we get off at 3 or 4. We can go pick up our kids, or we can cook for our kids. We go coach their teams, or what, that kind of thing. We have a little bit more time in the evenings to spend with our kids. So that worked out really well for me because, like I said, the time you get with your daughter, you're never going to trade for anything. So.
How old is your daughter, if you don't mind me asking?
She is now 26.
Oh.
I don't mind you asking. An interview. If you ever ask me a question and I refuse to answer, I'll say, I refuse to answer that question.
Duly noted.
I'll invoke my Fifth Amendment rights. But right now, you're doing great. She's 20. She'll be 27 on June 8th. And she went to Texas A&M and then SMU Law School, and now she's an attorney.
Really? That is so
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
I actually plan to be an attorney someday.
Well, you're gonna have to study hard. Make sure you like reading, because they read a lot and they wrote a lot.
Oh. I don't like writing, but I can get past it.
Okay. I think a good concluding question would
All right.
be, this is going to be the last question we ask you. What is something you can tell your younger self, perhaps? Like,
A good one. That's very good. Well, my kids ask me a lot. We have in my class what's called Ask Mr. Chi time in every Friday. They can ask me these types of questions. So maybe this is what prepared me for an interview. But they say, "What's your biggest mistake, Mr. T?" And I tell them, just on a frivolous personal side, I did not learn how to play a musical instrument. My mom took me to piano lessons, and I quit after 2 lessons. And I still regret that, because if I had kept up with my piano lessons, I would be Billy Joel or Elton John right now. You teenagers don't know who that is. But
No,
I
we
would have been
don't.
making a lot of money. And I wouldn't be stuck sitting in here in this podcast room if I was Elton John or Billy Joel. I'd be concert somewhere tonight. That's the frivolous. That's the frivolous. What I wish I would not have given up as a kid. On a more serious note, I think, and this just takes time. It took me 30 years to learn it, and which is define and put your priorities in life on a piece of paper and what's most important to you, and through trial and error, I realized it wasn't being a partner of a big accounting firm and making a whole bunch of money and belonging to the nicest country club in Fort Worth or Shady Valley in Arlington or whatever. I realized it's the people you love and spending time with them. And so it was my daughter, and got to spend a lot of time with my mom before she passed away, and so I think that's what you tell your younger self. And my younger self probably would have ignored it, just like many of my students ignore me. Is go out and see beautiful things in life. Would be one. Spend time with people you love, and then when you do those 2 things, one more thing I'd say is try to help other people, whether it's at your church or at school or just in your daily lives. Look around, and one of my favorite books is To Kill a Mockingbird. And Atticus Finch said, sometimes you just got to walk around in somebody's shoes, somebody's skin. I may be paraphrasing incorrectly. I've got an English teacher here to the left of me, but and I haven't taught it in a while. But I think basically it is, have empathy for others and try to help other people. So.
Thank you so much for your advice and
Absolutely.
for coming on to this podcast. I think this will be where we conclude our interview. Thank you so much, Mr. Thornber.
Thank you, Vu. Thank you, Marie.
You're
Going
welcome.
to this interview. Thank you guys for listening. This has been Reviews and Interviews, and I would like to thank Andrew and Mrs. Wade for letting us have our podcast, and I hope you all have a very good day.
Have a great spring break, teenagers. Be careful and don't do stupid stuff.
Yes, please don't.
Good afternoon.